Well, I started NIA back in 1990. I was a racket guy. Played racket sports my entire life. Started playing tennis when I was about 12. And then as I started going into high school and into college, I moved on to badminton and squash and racquetball and played all of those sports. And of course, all those sports are one-sided, centric type of movement. And I belonged to an athletic club down in Lake Oswego called River's Edge at the time. And I was playing racquetball at that point. And it turned out that Debbie and Carlos were teaching NIA at River's Edge at the time. They would trade off. They would each teach 3 or 4 days a week. And I just popped into a class one day and thought, I like this. I like the challenge of the movement. I liked the fact that I was working out both sides of my body and strengthening those parts of my body that I had been neglecting through playing a one-sided racket sport all my life. What do I like most about it? You know, at the end of the day, NIA, my body needs it, needs the movement of it, needs the release of it. You know, it expands all of my muscles and ligaments, and it keeps all my joints loose and strong. And my heart needs it. I mean, I get real enjoyment out of doing NIA. I mean, when I walk into that class, you know, I feel great, the whole class. I literally walk out of here, it's almost, it's not religious, but it's almost a routine for me, you know, where I walk down the stairs in a very slow motion, and I get out on the street and I walk in a very slow, deliberate way, you know, as I go on my day. And I try to carry, you know, what I've had in the class with me as I walk out. I think I'm moving much better than I would have ever guessed I could move. If you'd asked me back when I started NIA that I'd be able to move like I move now, I'd say no way, because I didn't have that coordination. It wasn't there. You know, NIA has allowed me to you know, have this sense of timing that I didn't have, to have this depth of movement that I didn't have. You know, it's sort of like, you know, the yoga piece of it that allows your body to stretch out and be more flexible. I didn't have near this much flexibility. Teaching is, I was a middle school math teacher. Pretty brutal territory. And you know, so it's a tough gig, and so this was a place I could come and feel good and relax, and huge compliment. When I'm doing them both, they're both much stronger. If I'm just doing cycling, it's obviously just working certain parts of my body. And if I'm just doing NIA, it doesn't give me the long cardiovascular, because I'll do a 4-hour or 6-hour bike ride, and that's a different experience than doing the NIAs. But when I'm doing the two of them together, they really work well. I had lower back surgery about, I'm going to say 12 years ago. I was doing stupid things around the house, and I do a lot of construction type work on my own at the house, and I popped my back to the point where I had to have an ambulance come and take me to the hospital, and went through lower back surgery. And I came back from that, and you know, I started out by doing a lot of walking, and then I started doing a little qigong, you know, and working that sort of slow movement practice. And then I was able to come back to NIA. And when I came back to NIA, you know, after lower back surgery, I mean, I couldn't twist, you know, I couldn't move this way. you know, it was very limited, and it took me probably 6 months to a year before I felt like I had my full movement back. But after that, I feel as strong or stronger than I was prior to ever needing the back surgery. I'm one of those guys, I like improvising, so I don't tend to do the movements super strictly. You know, I'm having fun out there, and I'm letting my body sort of react to the music as it wants to react. But no, being the guy in the class, you know, we've had periods of time here where we've had as many as 5 or 6 guys coming regularly, and then it drops off. I'll always do Nia. I'll always do Nia.
Another 26 years at least.
Yeah, yeah, and you've all got to be here still teaching me. My name's Larry Hope, and as I said, I do Nia because my body needs it, and my heart wants it. It makes me feel complete.